Hello and welcome to the Incursion Podcast, your weekly indie games podcast. We bring you all the news you might want to know, I guess, of indie games. We bring you a sweet little Out This Week section and all sorts of other stuff. We pop into Kickstarter. We talk about some Kickstarter indie games, mostly just talk shit about them. No big deal. It's cool. Everybody likes to do that.
There's some cool ones. You talk shit about it.
Or at least Errol talks shit about it.
No, I don't.
That's
am
true. That's
very
true.
nice
That's
about
true.
that.
You lie.
I'm definitely not condescending and super
sit
picky
on a
at all
throne
when it
of
comes
lies.
to Kickstarter indie games. Yeah, this is super exciting. We've got everybody back this week. Last week, Josh was hating us. He was actually, I'm not saying he was dead and buried in my backyard, but he somehow reanimated and walked up, and he's recording the podcast with us, so no big deal.
So was it like
It's exciting.
Ghost Vaughn and Zombie Josh?
Yeah, so I am the ghost formerly known as Von Hyde. You can also call me Danny Phantom if you'd like. That's my preferred alias.
We're not gonna. Nobody's gonna call
I
you
think
that.
Just start calling me Danny
I
Phantom,
think I've
guys.
watched a
It'll
documentary
catch
on Nickelodeon about you. I wasn't aware it was
You
a
did,
documentary
actually.
back then.
Yeah, it's like a season-long documentary.
Yeah, I
mean,
heard it was
it's
like-
probably the most highly regarded
I
documentary.
heard it was
ever.
like 3 seasons long, and the 3rd season and ending were really bad.
Well, that's a
Wow.
matter of perspective.
Sorry, Vaughn. The end of your life is very bad, apparently. Says Errol.
I know. I
Poorly
get it.
written.
It's cool. I guess next week I'll be Casper. It's fine. No big deal.
At least you'll be friendly for
Or
once. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's a good point. Man, it's off to a great start. So,
Yeah.
Josh, what have you been playing this week? Let's talk deep and dirty about your video games.
What a tangent. I haven't been playing too much. The reason why I was gone was a company thing. I was basically flown out to California, so I haven't had too much time. But a little bit of my time has been spent picking up Prison Architect. This is a fairly old game, to be honest, but they just recently, a few months back, put in multiplayer aspect to the game. So if you don't know, Prison Architect is basically like a kind of Sims game where you're building your little city, like a Sim City, but instead you're building a prison. So you're creating all of the jail cells, all the electricity, the kitchens, the places where they can go to work out or go to pray, yada, yada, yada. And it's actually pretty cool. For me, it was an interesting way to play because I had no start to the game. I didn't go through any tutorial. I just jumped in with a buddy who had already known about the game, and I was just really, really confused. But it was fun learning about basically all the different ways that I can create the jail, and just seeing all the dickish things that these jail people do. Like this guy, I don't even know how these guys are just getting all these like contraband and this crazy stuff. This jerk just had scissors and went through the medical bay and just destroyed all of my beds for no reason. Like, why would you do that? Anyway, but I mean, it was good though. I had a lot of fun playing it. Other than that, I haven't really been doing too much on the indie side of things. I've played a little bit of the new Kingdom Hearts game, but I only played but I only got to like 30 minutes through the game. I basically got to the first part where I could finally save the game because I spent so long. Yeah, because I spent so long, first off, just trying to download and install all the updates for PS4 because I haven't played in a while. So it's like, all right, wait an hour for that to do its thing. And then you're like, oh, great, now I can play. And it's like, no, now you can download the Kingdom Hearts stuff. And then you'll play. And so it's like, okay, wait another 15 minutes. And I finally get to play. And it's like 25 minutes of fucking cutscenes. It's like trying to...
It was that whole tutorial, too.
Yeah, it goes through the whole tutorial that you've done in every single game. And like it's very confusing. Once again, they took away the normal like pick a shield, pick a sword, pick magic, but now it's like pick these random paintings that make no fucking sense.
Yeah,
and it's
pick
like
these things that these pictures of these scenes from past games that represent whatever.
Some random verb, and it was like I picked balanced mystic, but I don't know what the fuck that means.
I picked like Vitality and Warrior. I think it's just your stats.
What a man's man.
It affects your stats.
Yeah, I'm sure it affects my stats. I don't know how the fuck it does, though. I mean, I
think
guess
Wisdom
I'm probably...
or Mystic is boosted Magic.
Well, that's definitely not what I should have picked then. But that's okay. I mean, Magic's usually good in the end game anyway, but damn, that's definitely not the way I play. And I'm not going to go sit through that 30 minutes again just to redo that. But
yeah, no, you can't. You have to restart the whole... Well, you would have to restart the whole thing, and that's annoying within itself.
Yeah, I don't want to watch all of that. Maybe I'll just I should have just done that now and just let it sit through all the stuff while we're doing this podcast.
Look, at least we were able to skip the cutscenes. Did you play Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS2 where you can't skip cutscenes?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then when you lost to a boss, you'd have to go through the whole cutscene again.
Oh,
it's like,
don't
God
even...
damn it.
Don't even go there. Oh.
Yeah, but otherwise, from the small amount that I've played, it seems kind of fun, very fluid. But
it's great.
I mean, it very much seems like exactly what Kingdom Hearts 2 was, which I don't know what I was really expecting, but we'll see. There's some weird stuff that they put in now where you could wall run and shit, but we'll see how.
I'm not gonna say anything about that, but.
All right, yeah, I'm sure there's more to it when I get into it. But anyway, that's pretty much what I've been up to.
Would you say that Sora can do hardcore parkour?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his heart's really in it.
Does he by chance every time he does it, he says hardcore parkour? Because I'd be in.
No.
That's a seller for me. Oh, fuck this game then. No Treasure Planet, no hardcore parkour?
Damn.
It's just bull.
Fuck it.
What have you been playing, Errol?
So recently I just got finished with playing Unruly Heroes. It's that one of the games the one that was at the indie highlights. That Nintendo.
Is that the one that's being developed by the Rayman guys?
Or it's like the studio is people who worked on I believe Rayman Origins and Rayman Legends, because it feels very similar. And it's based on Journey to the West, which is the Chinese novel that the original Dragon Ball is also based off of. So you play as 4 different characters that you can switch between, and it's pretty much just a kind of just really intense platformer that you can play co-op or single player, and it's really frustrating.
How far have you gotten into it?
Oh, I pretty much got to the last world. It's not a very long game. It's just some levels might take you a while.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I've played a little bit of it, but I only went through the first 2 stages, so I don't know really what to expect as far as how.
And then what's annoying? So what's annoying for me, a little nitpicky thing, is that, and I don't know if you notice this, but you can only switch characters in one direction.
Yeah, that sucked.
Because the other shoulder button is the dodge.
And I haven't checked it. Is there any remapping?
Not that I saw. Okay. And then I'm just trying to think of my thoughts about figure out my thoughts about it. I wrote about all this, but that was a couple days ago. There's other stuff the thing I did like about it was the levels where that would be a spoiler for you though. I can't say that. That's hard.
I mean, you can say it. It's fine. I'm not that invested.
Okay, there are some levels where you get to control specific enemies for a level or 2. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty cool.
Can't believe you just spoiled that.
Except for the fact that they can't double jump. And by that time, you're used to the double jumping and gliding of your 4 characters. That once you get there and you can't do it, it's really. But otherwise, it's just kind of I didn't really like it that much. But it's a well-made game. I think the art in it is really nice. The multiplayer is unnecessary, and I mean not the co-op, but the competitive multiplayer that just seems like a really bare-bones Smash ripoff with only 4 characters and a really limited moveset.
Oh, I haven't got a chance to play that, but yeah, I wasn't even sure how that worked. I was kind of confused. So is it just you on a platform?
It's literally each one of the worlds, they have different arenas, based on them, and it's just 2 to 4 people duking it out, but it's all the same moves you use in the campaign.
Oh, so it's just like
the few that you do, and it just seems like really tacked on. It's like, why have this?
I don't know. Guess an afterthought.
Otherwise,
but the real question is, could you just crouch on the ground and punch them in the dick a bunch?
I wish that would at least give them a combo attack variety.
Errol's a big fan of dick punching.
But
who's not a big fan of that?
For the people who like those Rayman games, I mean, I'm sure they'd probably like it. It's similar enough.
I mean, I don't know. I've played Rayman, and from what I've played of Unruly Heroes, it definitely it has that same kind of I guess feeling, but it definitely was different. I don't know.
It's not quite.
It's not. Yeah, it's hard to put my finger on it exactly, but it just doesn't feel like it's exactly flushed out like that. It's just a very different game. This game more reminds me of a much more platform-based Trine rather than puzzles, more than like a Rayman game.
Oh yeah, the puzzles, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, to be honest, I think it was, from what I've played, the small amount, better than Trine, which a lot of people would probably hate on me for that. But I just didn't really like Trine that much. But I thought this was pretty good from what I've played. But then again, I obviously need to go through more of the levels and see if it does get to more of a repetitive state, or how much they really... I thought
it was like just a side-scrolling beat 'em up, not with all the a puzzle platformer.
Yeah.
I was so wrong. Well, I mean, it has... And then the other thing that annoyed me was that you have no health or damage upgrades. So everything just stays the same throughout the whole campaign.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is kind of weird.
That's really annoying. I mean, enemies don't get that much stronger, but it would just be helpful.
At least you feel like you have some form of progression in the game.
Yeah, that's what I put when I was writing about it. It's you don't feel like you're progressing, you just feel like you're going.
Has there actually been any sort of progression system in any of the Rayman games?
I mean, I haven't really played those other ones.
You haven't played Rayman Legends or anything like you're talking about?
I mean, I played them briefly, but I don't remember that much about them.
Yeah, I don't recall. But I don't think it was the same, really.
Yeah.
I think they had maybe new abilities that he got. But
I feel like the Rayman games would be more forgiving than Unruly Heroes. Because in the later levels, the platforming gets pretty freaking infuriating.
Oh man, maybe I'll like it then. I have to try the harder levels.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. When I get through it, I'll let you know if you're just a baby.
Hey, I played Messenger. I was trying to think for a second.
Yeah, you're what have I done? That's good.
Yeah, Josh is the get good guy. If anybody didn't know that out in the podcast viewership of one person, which is me. Josh really likes to tell us to get good at video games because he's pro. He's MLB, you know what I
mean? Definitely not. I'm pretty shit, but I'm better than Errol. So I'll stick with that.
At some things.
This is the Scorched Earth podcast. Well, I've been playing Phantom Trigger. I talked briefly about it last week, that I had purchased it, but instead played other games for some reason.
Sounds like you.
Yeah, exactly. I buy a lot of games and then just don't play them. Phantom Trigger is actually really fun. It's a little weird though. I don't want to really get into the specifics of the story because it's a very odd story, and I feel like you could probably ruin it pretty easily. The one thing I did want to talk about is the combat. If you guys are looking to pick up Phantom Trigger, I picked it up because it reminded me of Hyperlight Drifter. I would say don't fall for it. It's a good game, but if you're looking for something more that plays more like Hyper Light Drifter, it's not going to really be the same. You get a couple of different like abilities that you get a fist that it punches and it does a lot of damage but is slower, and you have a sword which is really fast but it does less damage, and then you have a whip that doesn't necessarily do damage. It's mostly just used as like a utility item to pull creatures toward you. Or one of the coolest things is that you can actually you use the whip to lasso different stuff like spears and such on the map, and then you can fling them at people, which is really cool. But often enough, I just end up hitting myself with them, so it gets kind of annoying. But it's a really fun game. It's got a really cool aesthetic. It's just, if you're going to pick it up and you're thinking it's going to be at all like Hyper Light Drifter, it's really it's not. Plus I've been playing some Mass Effect 3. I'm like binging it, trying to get through with all the DLC before Anthem comes out. But other than that, that's all I've been playing this week. It's pretty exciting.
Phantom Trigger looks pretty good, but it does have a mixed review. It's got a pretty low score on Steam and everything. But
yeah, that's not surprising.
It looks really fun though. I don't know, what is it that's negative about this game?
It's really fun. I wouldn't say there's a whole lot that's negative about it. It's just the combat isn't exactly as tight as I'd like it to be. Everything kind of feels a little bit sluggish, especially if you get stuck in a combo. The progression system is really interesting. The more you use an item, the more it levels up, which then unlocks combos with your different abilities. So it's really fun. I'd recommend it. It's a fun game and everything. Plus the story is really weird. So if you guys are big fans of just weird ass stories or super ambiguous stuff like Hyper Light Drifter, it's pretty interesting. But I haven't got to the end of it yet, so I can't exactly say that it's massively mind boggling. But it's pretty interesting. I'd check it out.
Yeah, maybe I'll look into it when it goes on sale or something.
I bought it on sale. I think it was $4.
Oh, okay.
So it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, now it's $15, so I'll wait until that next sale.
Yeah, I wouldn't spend that much on it. But I think it's about time for us to transform, whatever people like to say.
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
Yeah, right. Freaking Transformers noise. It's time for us to talk about some news, some indie games news for this week. And I mean, we have a decent amount of news that you guys can obviously check out all the articles in the description down below of either this video on YouTube or of the just audio podcast. I always put the descriptions in those, but I feel like it's weird. So I mean the links and the descriptions on those, but it's definitely weird. For our first story, we are on Game Informer. This written by Elise Favis. I'm going to go with that. Wargroove to have cross-play at launch. Wargroove, an upcoming strategy game similar to Advanced Wars, will have cross-play at launch. Publisher Chekofist announced on the news on Twitter, confirming that cross-play will be available across Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PC. There is no mention whether or not the PS4 will include crossplay too, but since Sony only recently made the function available late last year, that doesn't come as much of a surprise. The PS4 version of Wargroove launches at a later date as well. One thing I'd like to point about this is that it's really starting to grade me. It's really starting to annoy me that the only games that anybody ever talks about going cross-platform play are the few that Sony included in its beta, but once again, there are games that were cross-platform play before this, so it shouldn't be such a big thing. I feel like it's only a big thing because Fortnite went cross-platform play. But of course, there's more news to this. Wargroove's multiplayer can be played online or locally with up to 4 players. Having a large player base across several platforms should be great for matchmaking and such.
Yes.
The game is going to release on February 1st on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PC, and of course the PS4. It's coming at a later date.
And reviews just started coming out today, is getting all 9s from what I've seen.
Oh, damn.
It's pretty high.
It's got a really cool art style.
People
I
are
like it a lot.
really satisfied with it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I've been playing a little bit of it. I'm no strategy game expert, but because I'm Into the Breach, I've been getting a little more into them, and it's definitely fun. from what I've played so far. I'm not that far into it. I'm still kind of learning what each unit does, and then they're still introducing new units. And I had to lower the difficulty down because I was getting my butt kicked. But
you didn't just get good.
Get good, Arrow. Get good.
I'm planning on it.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day. But yeah, it has just so much content. You know, there's the single player campaign mode, and then there's the arcade mode where you play as all these different commanders have their own story mode, which you unlock through the campaign mode, and then there's the whole multiplayer thing. I think there's both competitive and co-op, and then you can create your own custom maps and cutscenes. Apparently, I haven't tried that out yet.
Cutscenes? That's pretty crazy.
I don't know. It might just be like the sprite-based cutscenes.
Yeah.
Because the cutscenes are sprite-based. It's not like the opening animation that they have, which is actually really cool. But and then a nice touch I liked is that they have you can listen to there's like a certain place where you can listen to the soundtrack as you unlock more content.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of like a sound test like the old games had.
Yeah, I think the reason why this is so cool for crossplay, like the reason why this is really good for them as far as like a smart decision for their brand or for the longevity of this game is just because of that custom maps that you can build. So the fact that you could have potentially, if I'm reading right into this, you could play someone who's on a Switch that created a map off of an Xbox or off of a PC, which means that you'll have, even after all that endless amount of content that Errol just spoke on of all the different campaign modes, this thing could last for basically forever. I mean, people are still modding older games like the older Fallout games and still making stuff for it to this day. The same with Skyrim, the same with any of those games that you can make mods or make new designs to things. It just really supports this game going forward, and it makes it easier for a game that might have a smaller subset on certain platforms to be able to be included with all the others. So I think it's a smart decision and a choice to have that go across.
All that stuff is great.
All that stuff is great, yeah. I definitely believe that the cross-platform play is cool, too. The only thing I find annoying about this, like I said, is the fact that everybody seems to think that cross-play did not exist before. Like, cross-platform play didn't exist before. I'm like, oh, fuck off. There's, like, 5 different games, if not more. Just 5, like, that I know of. I keep forgetting one of them, honestly, is really pissing me off. But yeah, like Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn does has cross-platform play, and it has since it launched on consoles. So, can you just stop? Like, let's
Final Fantasy.
Let's stop just saying that it started then.
It gets a pass.
It's yeah. I mean, whatever. It's weird. Yeah, I'm really excited for Wargroove. How do you like it, Errol? Have you played really any bit of it?
Yeah,
or just...
I was saying that. I played a bit of it, and I like it so far. I was saying how I was getting my butt kicked, and I had to lower the difficulty because I'm not really used to strategy games besides Into the Breach. But I feel like Into the Breach is a lot more accessible for people who aren't familiar with strategy games, whereas Wargroove is like, if you know strategy games and you're like a big Advance Wars fan, you'll probably like it a lot.
Well, there you go. Glowing recommendation from Errol.
Yeah. Somebody who does not know anything about strategy games.
You don't get many of those. Mostly he just tells Josh how much he hates his picks for God Bless the Crown. No big deal.
I don't ever hate his pick.
You heard it here, folks.
Don't worry, we'll get back to that later.
No.
Yeah, no. I think the weird part about this though is that not really the fact that I'm talking about the cross-platform play on PS4, but just the fact that it's not on PS4 at the same time as everything else. It seems really strange that it's the one pick that didn't go through. And I don't know anything about, what might have, set that later than.
I feel like
sooner.
a couple of indies have been like that recently. Like PS4 at a later date, and it's like, it's like PS4 and Nintendo switched places.
I know that's
Well, the weird thing about this isn't necessarily that they just excluded like PS4, because that does happen. Like Wonder Song released on Nintendo Switch and PC but did not come to PS4.
Yeah.
The weird thing about this is that it also came to Xbox One but didn't come to PS4.
Yeah.
So it's like, it doesn't seem like they're a far leap console-wise, and I don't think it would be that hard to make a version. Wouldn't it be hilarious if the developers were just like holding it hostage?
I thought Wonder Song was out for PS4 now.
It just came out to PS4.
Yeah.
But it launched at a later date.
Yeah.
That's like,
so I wonder
it's
what's
just
going
odd.
on over
Normally
there.
indies will come to Nintendo Switch and PC, and then they'll later come to consoles. Other consoles, because Nintendo Switch is a console. But yeah, it's weird that they're just excluding PS4 of all things.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
So I think it's time for us to move on to our next story. This is for fans of the game Don't Starve. Don't Starve Together, devs reveal DLC plans for 2019. Don't Starve Together developer Praey, I don't know, I'm going to go with Praey, laid out its plans for the upcoming year in a blog post yesterday, highlighting character refreshes, seasonal events, and new biomes coming to its Tim Burton-esque roguelike. Praey will roll out 4 new characters with unique abilities, being at the beginning, beginning mid-March, for $6.99 US, price not final, with a new character releasing every other month. The developer says that this is how it will fund the remainder of its content, which it wants to give away for free, but players can also use spools.
Spools?
I'm assuming that's their in-game currency. Oh yeah, Don't Starve's in-game currency. I'm such a dumbass. To unlock each new character, so you don't have to spend the $6.99. That's pretty cool. The original suite of characters will be getting some love too. Beginning in March with Winona, each character will have their abilities revamped with new backstories to boot. A new character will be refreshed every other month with new skins available the month of their reset. And then they also promise some brand new content coming later, but including new biomes and creatures, basically more of, whatever, that part doesn't matter. This is a good article. You guys should check it out. It's written by Hunter Wolf over on Game Informer. Did you guys play Don't Starve? Do you care about the DLC? Are you going to pay the $6, or are you just going to use your plethora of in-game currency because you love the game so much?
Gonna use all my spools. Damn, Arrow with the fucking disrespect.
Yeah, dude, Errol's just shitting on stuff today.
Fucking
no, I just never played it.
God bless the crowd.
Fucking no and no. That's what he said. I actually have not played it either, but I've always looked at it. But I was nice about it. All right, I didn't fucking know it. It's different. All right, but I've seen it. I've seen it before, and I've wanted to get into it. I know a couple of friends actually have it. Would you get out of here? But like this DLC of having the like extra new characters, and I've seen in the past like they have had other content that has come out, so they're like continuously working on it. So by now, getting it for the $15 that it is on Steam, or waiting until the next Steam sale or something like that, I'm sure this is an easy pickup for how much content is probably in it already. And then it's nice to know that I can get whatever these spools are, and then actually work my way towards the new characters, since like if I'm already going to spend my time jumping into it and playing it, at least I'll get like maybe a new character I'm interested in, or see what actually comes from it. So I think it's a good concept to have. I don't know. I might actually look into it. Probably for the next sale, or the next time I'm just like looking for a game, I'll probably pick it up.
So it looks like the picture in the article says a teaser of a new character coming to Don't Starve Together, and then they say, "Is it a moose man?" It definitely looks like the devil. I don't know what kind of dumbass thinks that's a moose man.
A moose man.
It looks like the like weird like fawn like devil. Mm-hmm. He literally has a pointy fucking tail. Who? What?
Yeah.
What moose have you seen with a pointy tail?
Yeah, that's Moose Man.
Yeah, and if you want to go off on
obviously,
I mean, you could go off on a really weird theory and say it's the Moose Man from this indie game called The Moose Man. But...
Yeah, or it could be that weird ass like creature from Pan's Labyrinth. It could be that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that could be Bigfoot for all we know. We've never seen his butthole. We've never seen his tail. We don't know what.
Look at his little legs. There's no way he could be Bigfoot.
Okay, Littlefoot.
He's got huge. Sora's got little legs, dude. He's got the fat feet.
Oh man, his legs would snap if he tried to move big feet. Look at that. It's barely attached to its butt. His tail is bigger than his legs.
That's fair. That is pretty janky. But look at their character models. Their head is fucking huge, and their legs are tiny. There's no way that their legs would actually be able to support their head.
That's why they're starving.
Let alone their body.
Heads are so big. They gotta feed themselves.
That's a good point. Maybe as you feed him, his legs grow larger, and so do his feet.
I think.
Ever think of that, Josh?
That would be a unique twist. I can't wait to play Moose Man.
Yeah, dude. I hate that so much. Who the fuck were... Oh, my God. I feel weird that I'm so hung up on this. Don't Starve, I've heard really good things about. People really, really like it. I really like the aesthetic of it. I'm just shit at survival games. I'm really bad at it. I can't do that.
Yeah, that's usually what kind of pushed me away from getting into Don't Starve, but the fact that it is, like... has that multiplayer, the co-op aspect will probably get me into it, because I'll just try to see if one of my friends is good at it, and then I'll just fucking just follow his lead and make him carry my ass.
Nice. Speaking of carrying your ass, yeah, dude. We're over on Twinfinite for this next article. As Praey for the Gods is finally launching in early access. Stunning trailer showcases gameplay. Well, we've already seen gameplay, so no big deal. I just have to point that out.
What was the transition there? Are you carrying my ass to the next story?
No, dude, the big like monsters that carry you. You climb on them. It's like Shadow of the Colossus. Get your head in the game, Josh.
I see. Excellent transition.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my absolute favorite part of this article is the fact that they even reference that they had to change the name to Praey because of like a possible lawsuit from because
Bethesda,
of the game,
right?
Praey. What'd you say?
The Bethesda Praey, or
yeah, the Bethesda Praey that came out, I think in either early 2018 or late 2017.
It was like May 2017, I think.
Yeah, they reference that, and then several times they like talk about it in the article, but spell it Prey, and the picture that they actually include is spelled Prey. They didn't actually find a picture that has the A.
Yeah,
I just find that
funny. I was
funny.
definitely confused about that. I was like, what is happening? I was like, there's so many mistakes here.
Yeah, it's so weird. This is like, okay, there's like a couple different typos in this article. It's really weird. But for the main meat of this article, Praey for the Gods is finally releasing in early access after a lengthy development cycle. The Shadow of the Colossus-like survival adventure game has been in the works for 4 years since its successful crowdfunding campaign, but a June 31st early access launch is now locked in. The three-man team first started work on Praey for the Gods back in 2014 as a part-time project 2 years later, and after raising $500,000 on Kickstarter. Which, something that I find weird about this is they like get all this money and then they move to Seattle. I don't understand why they had to move to Seattle. That's a little weird to me.
It's a cool place to be.
I guess it's like a cultural hub or something.
That's where Nintendo is.
Yeah, this definitely looks like Nintendo.
That's where you want to be.
They're gonna put it on Switch first. It's gonna be Switch first.
Yeah.
I mean, it's on PC already.
I mean,
so
when it's out of early access.
All right, Aaron.
Fast forward another 2 years, and the game's name has since been changed to avoid legal strife with Bethesda's Praey. I think that's so funny. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, is that they tried to sue them over the word Praey. That's so stupid. Yeah, development has been moving quickly, all sorts of stuff. Another thing I find odd about this is they actually talk about like the early access stuff. They put it in early access, and what's in early access is what they promised in their initial like Kickstarter. But then they talk about wanting to add additional content based on the sales for Steam, and they're like, oh yeah, it's like adding the epilogue in a good book at the end of a book. But it's like, why did you put it out in early access if your game is already done? Like you said, it's fully playable along with cutscenes, open world exploration, minions, puzzles, and all the additional Kickstarter backer content. It's a fully playable game that is exactly what like backers asked for, but then they still put it out in early access.
Maybe it's,
like that's a little weird to me.
Maybe it's one of those like things where the whole, oh, it's just a beta. We still have a lot of bugs to work out, and like that's why it's early access, because they want to work out all the kinks first before they like fully release it.
I mean, it makes sense. I just find that really odd. Like, why even include that? You could just say it's in beta and then add additional content for like when you actually release it. You didn't even actually have to say that you were going to add additional content based on Steam sales. Like, I find that weird.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's really odd.
I don't know. I mean, it's also getting to a point where like so I understand our point that we're like pushing is like why put it in early access, but also because of like the way the community has been lately for video games, of how like we're very very quick to jump on any issues that come up. So, I mean, think of like Fallout 76, and granted, Fallout 76, there's a lot of reasons for us to jump on it, but like those kind of like missteps, like people are very critical when a game comes out, and I feel like the early access thing is just such an easy way, like Errol was kind of alluding to, of just basically covering their ass and being like, we know there's shit wrong. Let's not put it out and get a whole bad publicity where we can hide behind that and be like, no, instead the message behind that is like, look how good it is for early access rather than look how bad it is for a full release.
I feel like with this whole thing with early access, people saying they're putting out their game in beta and it's in early access just to kind of cover their ass, is really becoming a slippery slope. I don't think developers understand what they're doing, because now every game that comes out, people are like, it's very possible that a lot of developers will just say it's in early access or it's in beta to cover their ass, and then it's like, when do games ever come out? What game is fully finished? Like, do I have to wait for it to eventually come to consoles with all the DLC and you to charge me again for it to say that it's officially out?
I mean, not even, because there's games that have already come to consoles that are still in early access that like aren't getting updates.
So I'm just saying, it's like a slippery slope. They're really, I don't know. It's a weird thing to do, and it's definitely like desensitized everyone from the whole beta and early access thing, because any game that comes out now, you could just be like, oh yeah, it's in early access. It has been for 12 years. It'll eventually come out. I don't know. Let's see if Fortnite ever comes out of beta.
Yeah, I wonder when that date will actually be. But I don't know, because I agree with you. It's such a hard concept, because there's some people who do it really well, and there's some people who get away with, this crappy motive of having kind of a safety net. Because like, I think of Slay the Spire, and they did an awesome job with early access. They put in every week constant updates. They were constantly talking to the community, constantly working with them, and getting the game to where it is now when it just released. And like, that's how it should be. But there's a lot of, these early access games where it'll be in early access and months will go by before you even hear like any word on what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's like developers aren't necessarily hurting. They aren't hurting like players by putting their stuff in early access. That's not what I'm saying. They're hurting themselves by doing it. Because now it's just early access and betas have now these words mean something else entirely. They no longer mean like, oh, we're still working on the game. It's finished, but it's not polished. Like, we're still going to work on it. Now it just means, hey, we know our game is shitty. And we don't want you to be mad about it. So here's a game that we'll say is in early access.
Still in early access?
Yeah.
It's in beta. Yeah, Fortnite, at the very least, its Battle Royale is in beta.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's just a scapegoat, and it's annoying.
Which doesn't make sense because it's like, I don't know, popularity is not a good reason for it to be out, but it's like, it's on every device, everyone is playing it, like, it's clearly out. It's not an early access. Everyone has access to it. Like, this isn't like... And you're not even paying for it either. Well, I guess that doesn't matter either. But it's just a weird concept in general. But I don't think it's that, like... It's just a weird concept because a beta and early access are like the same thing, but used in different contexts, I guess. But it feels more like the indie scene uses early access more than beta, which is more of like a technical term, and is a more closed off thing that more like AAA titles will do, or higher monetary entities. But I don't know, it's definitely tough, and it really depends because it's a case by case basis, and there's really nothing we can do about it because early access is like the big new thing. I mean, you could like protest and just not buy anything that goes into early access, but it also depends because you don't know if you're just missing out on that game, because what if it's an early access forever?
Yeah, I mean, sorry to go on a tangent about early access. It just really annoys me, especially like after like Ark Survival Evolved was in early access, but putting out paid DLC. I was like, then you're not in early access. You're just that's your game. I don't understand, but whatever. It to get actually back to Praey for the Gods, I assume that their early access period will be legit. They're planning on adding more stuff to it and everything. It's just early access annoys me. Praey for the Gods will launch in early access. It's arriving on January 31st via Steam. I'm excited for this. I've been excited for it since we saw it at like E3 a long time ago. I think it was like E3 2016, maybe.
Was it at E3?
If I remember correctly. I think it was. Yeah, it was. I'm fairly certain that it was at one point in time at E3. But I don't know. This article, for some reason, completely does not say that, but has like 5 typos, so that's a thing. So for our next news story, we are staying on Game Informer, and this is our last news story before we pop into News Cram. This written by Imran Khan. It is Hong Kong Massacre's PS4 release slightly delayed for America. Indie game Hong Kong Massacre, a stylish new Hotline Miami like developed by Vrexky. I don't know how to say that. Came out recently on PC and PS4. The PC release date is available worldwide, while the PS4 release appears to have only come out in Europe and Australia. It seems like just for the Americas that it is scheduled for a later date. The main reason that I wanted to talk about this is just because of some of these tweets. So the developer went to Twitter and said, we are releasing the Hong Kong Massacre a bit earlier on Steam, and it is available now. It looks like the PS4 version in America will not be released on the 22nd. This is something out of our control, and we apologize for this. In Europe and Australia, Australia. For some reason, I thought I said Austria. It is now available on PS4. Thanks. And then this dude, like JT, was just a total dickhead about it and was like, not happy about a delay. Shit happens. But shrugging like we have no clue when it's coming to North America is bullshit. Okay, I don't think that's necessarily what they did. Like, they just said, hey, it's not coming to North America right now. They aren't really obligated to tell you any more than that. And it says they responded saying, "We are really sorry, but this is something out of our control. The latest it will be out is the 31st of January. This is all we know at the moment."
Which is fine. It's like a week later.
Yeah, this is like
it's
them
not the
waiting
worst
for
thing ever.
years. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's not like you're waiting 13 years for a game to come out.
Like some other games. Fucking kicked apart, so stupid.
All right. Anyway, no, this I just don't understand why they don't have to tell you everything, and it's out of their control. Like, what are they gonna do? What is this guy thinking? Like, he's gonna change their mind? Like, oh, you're right, we were wrong. Sorry, it's out now. Like, it's clearly not gonna be anything he can change by saying like, fucking, oh, this is bullshit. Like.
And also, if they say it's out of their control, what makes him think that they actually know when it'll be able to be released?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that thought process. He's like, they must know. They're just like, they're just pulling my chain. They're just being dicks. No.
Yeah, like what motive would they possibly have? It is strange though. Like, I wonder what could have possibly just been like, oh, never mind, North America for PS4, this just will not work. Like, it's very specific. Like, I wonder if there's something in the game that legally just does not work.
I would assume so, since they say it's out of their control. It must be an issue with Sony in the US.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the game to have a good understanding of that, but it seems like something very specific. But even still, like, I don't know. It just seems like a bit too much. There's not much more to say other than that.
Yeah, this isn't like a huge blockbuster news story. I just really wanted to talk about how this guy was being a dickhead. Yeah. If I'm being honest, that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. Hong Kong Massacre looks really good, especially if you're a fan of Hotline Miami. It's like Hotline Miami, but doesn't look bad.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I love Hotline Miami. It's just a different art style.
Yeah. I was gonna say
it's more realistic in Hong Kong Massacre.
Yeah, I was gonna say realistic.
Hotline Miami's.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm just making a joke. Yeah, Hotline Miami looks great. But now it's time for us to move into news, Cram.
Cram. Did you cough, Errol? What was that?
Yeah.
I think he did.
Something stuck in my throat.
He was trying to get ready for the crams, dude.
I got a news cram in my throat.
Without him.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Let's get it out.
So for news cram this week, we've got this is just a press release. Aragami heading to Nintendo Switch on February 21st.
Okay, so that was weird. I need to say something about this. Because a lot of people, it was confirmed for Europe and not confirmed for North America yet. So there wasn't that.
Shit!
All the news. No. I mean
it's
like
Hong
a month
Kong
ago, a month or
again.
two ago. Now it's confirmed for North America.
Were there any mean tweets?
Yeah, was anybody a dickhead about it?
I haven't seen it. No, I didn't look at Twitter for that.
It's probably that same guy.
I think we need to go check out JT, see if he's being an ass.
And there's
That's what we need to see.
It's coming to Switch, and there's a physical edition with like a bunch of cool stuff, a special coin, an art book, a special box cover.
Oh wow!
I hate to tell you, I already have it physically on PS4, big boy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but did it come with a special limited edition coin?
I don't give a shit about a coin, dude. What am I gonna do with a coin?
You're gonna
what am I even gonna do with this game? I'm not even gonna play it.
What is wrong with you? Foolish.
Did you play Aragami Arrow?
I want to eventually. I'm not.
Well, now you can.
Yeah. I'm not the best at stealth games, but since one of the influences they said was Dishonored, I was like, oh, okay, now you got me.
Are you like
Nice.
Are you like the god of monster taming games, Earl?
What does
Like,
Dishonored have to do with monster taming?
Yeah,
'Cause,
that was kind of an interesting question.
well, my transition from that was because today you've talked about 2 types of games you're bad at, but I want to know what you're good at.
I'm not good at any games.
You're not good at
I
any
don't even know
game.
why
He's
I'm
got
here.
godlike proficiency in monster taming.
Yeah, I wanted to like.
Now I have a very basic knowledge compared to some of the people I know.
Oh well, no, the savants of the monster taming world, they're another beast themselves.
It's one of those things where, like, among my group of friends, I probably know the most about stuff because they don't really look into it that much. But then if you look to the people who actually know their stuff, I'm just a scrub, dude. I just try to help to spread the word, okay?
All right, I gotcha.
Alright.
I was
Nice.
expecting you to be like some fucking like amazing monster tamer person who was like, oh yeah, let me show you.
No, why do you think I wrote an article for Parallax about what other monster tamer competitions we could see besides Pokemon without getting into the competitive metagame? So that's all you have to know about that.
I mean, you might just be helping the masses, but you're secretly the competitive scene master. And
I am
everyone-
not good. No, I know nothing about the competitive scene.
He's just
Very
waiting to
little.
blow everybody out of the water.
Yeah.
He's trying to like tempt you with low expectations,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna pull the rug out from under
He's
you.
gonna be like,
He's like, I'm the wizard, bitch.
do you want to play a friendly match of Pokemans? I'm gonna be like, sure, Errol, and he's gonna be like, ha, stupid, and he's gonna destroy me. Something like
No,
that.
He's just
my
hustling
teams are
people.
never balanced enough for that.
Ah, I picked balance. Should have picked balance.
I've got 6 Dawn fans. No big deal. That's not even
Hey,
Dong
an
fans?
elephant party?
Dawn fan.
Oh,
Elephant party.
elephant party. 6 dongs. All right, let's go.
Yeah, time for the rest of the news, Cram, because we talked about Aragami and Arrow being a god. So we've got Axiom Verge is the next freebie from the Epic Games Store in February. That is over on Twinfinite. Subnautica sequel gets surprise announcement out next week. It's already out. You can go play it. That is over on IGN. We've got discover a lost language among the stars in the new trailer for Heaven's Vault. I'm going to tell you right now, this game's art style annoys me just because the lady doesn't have legs. I'm not going to talk about it any more than that. That is over on Game Informer. Then we've got HuniePop 2 to launch Censored on Steam amid growing concerns among visual novel developers over on Twinfinite. Rivals of Aether, something like that. A cute new buddy system has shipped with patch 1.4.7. That is on Twinfinite. And the last of our news cram roundup is a Twinfinite article titled Rocket League Cross-Platform Party Feature coming in February. So now it is time for us to move in to Errol's favorite segment of the podcast, and this is God Bless the Crowd.
Yay.
This is where Josh goes through different crowdfunding sites, finds some cool games for us to talk about. This week we've got Littlewood and Evergate, both over on Kickstarter. If you guys would like to find them, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's very easy to find stuff on Kickstarter. Guess what, guys? I figured it out last week because Josh abandoned us. He definitely wasn't buried in my backyard, guys.
Oh, like, I'm not a zombie, I guess. I was wondering how you were going to do on your own. But see, I'm proud of you. You figured it out.
That's why I reanimated you like Frankenstein.
Here I am, baby. I assume that's what he would say.
Something like that. So Littlewood looks really, really cool. The world has already been saved, and now it's time to rebuild your town along with the hearts of those around you. See, the one thing I really want to talk about this, guys, is that Josh is such a liar. You know what I mean, guys? Because he constantly tells us he doesn't like card games. He's not a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. He doesn't play Pokemon. The new Bakugan is not appetizing at all to him, but he's a liar. Because there's a section of this game called Tarot Master, and let's talk about it. Once the Dark Wizard was defeated, all of his monsters were sealed away into tarot cards. Many townsfolk collect and battle with these cards, and there is even a big competition held each year in whatever the fuck that name is. Get collecting. Josh, this is really why you put this on here, isn't it? So we could talk about freaking card games, dude. again.
You caught me. Also, I never said anything about Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon. I don't know.
You said you don't play Yu-Gi-Oh, bro.
I-
Me and Arrow were both here for this. You said you didn't play.
I mean, well, yeah, I guess not.
You're not
But
playing
still.
Magic the Gathering at your local comic book store?
Okay, look. This is the thing. I don't like card games that are just card games. If you're like, do you want to play Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh or any of those? No, I don't.
What about Bakugan Battle Planet? Do you want to play that?
It's more than just a card game. They're little toys.
Yeah, dude, there's little toys. You gotta roll them.
And the cards are magnetic, so they
hexagons.
pop out.
It's
No.
completely revamped the Bakugan series, bro.
No.
It's crazy.
No. No. You're missing the point.
It's not just a card game, though.
I like the card aspect when it's built into a system that's in a game already. That's not just like any game that has like one of those weird card games. Like if you play like Fable, it has their own card game. If you play
Gwent.
Yeah, if you play like Witcher 3, they have their own card game. Like fuck those. I don't want those. But when you have cards implemented and it's more like abilities or like different events, kind of like
Mega Man
aspect
Battle
of it.
Network.
Yeah, Mega Man Battle Network is awesome. It's gotta have a cool twist to it, almost as if the cards
but
are
he
in there.
Like Bakugan.
No, almost as if the cards are there for no good reason, and they really could have just named it abilities. Then it's
Kingdom Hearts
perfect.
Chain
for
of
me.
Memories.
Nah,
I'm
fuck
kidding.
the game. That
I'm
one's
kidding.
fuck that. Anyway,
But let's actually talk about Littlewood, guys, now that I'm done mocking Josh about his card game
So it's
fetish.
a card game, right? No, just kidding.
no,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
not even
it's
a card
100%.
game.
It's all a card game.
Not even a card game. This is Littlewood, a peaceful RPG. I actually really like the concept of it, though, of like what happens after the hero saves the world, and it's like, all right, well, you know, what's the aftermath of it, of actually like building the town? I think I like the concept more than I would like playing the game, to be honest, though, because I mean, I'd rather just wait for the new Animal Crossing that comes out.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say, Animal Crossing. Especially because there's a character here that looks like a humanoid bird. So, and also, I like how on the Kickstarter page it lists their influences, and it's Animal Crossing is the first one.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious, but like,
Oh shit, dude. One of their influences is RuneScape 2007. Fuck yeah. I'm gonna back these guys. They're my favorite. Fuck you, Josh. I'm gonna play this tarot card game.
Damn.
Don't you worry.
The card game was just an added stretch goal. It has nothing to do with the game.
That's bullshit, dude. It says right there, master new hobbies and crafts. I'm gonna master tarot master.
All right. The point is, the game actually looks pretty dope, though. I really like the art style. It looks like basically build your own Zelda world, like old school Zelda. So it does have a good aspect to it. It's just I really can't get into these style games. But if you like this type of like, you know, build your own city game, it's definitely one that I would recommend because it looks like it has the potential to be really good. And I mean, it's only $15. And man, Vaughn, you must love these guys because they did not do a $1 tier.
Yeah, and they also didn't do that bullshit where they're like, make something in my game.
Oh, really?
Make my game
Even
for
that
me.
as well? Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
these guys
but
are
we
like,
don't
they're
know.
top tier.
We don't know. Oh, sorry about the sound in the background.
Oh.
Oh, I was like, do we know it? Like, did you figure it out?
I have
Oh my
I
god.
have headphones on. That's
A
why.
bee?
What was I saying?
We don't know.
Oh,
You
do we
just
know if it has
stopped.
a bad pickaxe animation that Vaughn won't like?
Oh,
I don't know, dude. This looks
Oh.
really good. You know what I'm going to tell you right now? You know what looks shitty? Animal Crossing. You know what looks great? Fucking Littlewood. It's got card games. They like RuneScape. I'm in.
Have you ever
goddamn.
played Animal Crossing?
Yeah, I have. And it's butthole.
Whew!
Suck
god damn.
it.
Some spicy
What?
words there.
Hot takes here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just told him to go suck a butthole. Well,
exactly what I
I guess you're down for Littlewood then. Well, that's good at least.
I'm sold, dude. The only thing that they could have done better on this Kickstarter when it comes to me is if they offered some physical rewards, which they did not do.
Damn. Almost your best friends. Almost.
Yeah, dude.
Could have been.
I was about to like hit them up and be like, "Hey, I'm already engaged, but can I marry you, Sean Young? Let's do this.
Let's do this.
We'll be together for the rest of eternity, sadly,
Be like,
for you."
I mean, if you hit them up, maybe they'll be like, I'm Sean Young, and the physical thing that you can have is me, baby. I'd be like, marry me. And then you live
That's
happily
a sick
ever after.
perk, dude. Now I'm gonna have to hit him up.
I know.
Like that's a necessity.
I know, and now we're gonna get like fucking restraining orders.
I'm definitely not
Oh,
saying
boy.
I'm gonna stalk Sean Young. That's it. I'm not.
Woo! All right, we gotta change topics.
All right. Anyway,
So Evergate looks really cool, guys. It's an expansive 2D puzzle platformer set in the realm of gods and spirits, where dreams are the fabric of reality and souls are reborn. That's kind of a weird description of a game. I don't really know.
pretty deep.
Littlewood, I forgot to say, it was shooting for $1,500. It seriously surpassed its goal by a shitload. It's got $35,000. They're gonna make that Tarot Master card game. It's gonna be sweet. They still got 14 days left, guys. Freaking give them money. But over on Evergate, they have a goal of $25,000, and they have, they're almost there. They're about 90% there with $23,876 with 15 days left to go. Evergate actually looks pretty cool, and I like at the end of their trailer, they actually included a little bit of like dev commentary where they were like, hey, we are two people creating this game, and we just want to make it. Please give us money. And I was like, all right, dude, that's pretty honest. Plus, they offer a plush, so no big deal. It's pretty sweet.
That's the real reason.
And you can get a t-shirt, physical art book, physical poster. Seriously, today is like chef's kiss of choices, Josh. Seriously.
Thank you.
Great job.
I know. I do it for you.
I know.
They're
You
okay.
definitely didn't do it for Arrow because he hates this. So.
And
look at him.
Errol has
They're-
specifically
they're-
told me. He's DMing me right now
They're
about how
alright.
bad all these games are. You see that? That they're all right. He can't even. He could barely come up with that. He's like just dying on the inside
What do
trying
you
to say that
mean?
they're good.
He's like,
Eh.
One thing I will say
They look
that they
fine.
included that I still feel like is better is you can create a backstory for an NPC. That's one thing. Creating an entire NPC or just doing it's just okay. I'm not gonna get on this again. Fucking stop trying. to
but
make
what
me
if you
make your
want to?
game.
But like, so if you had the chance to like put something in the game, like put yourself in the game as an NPC, you wouldn't do it.
No, I'm not that vain, Harold. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
his
kidding.
name is Vaughn,
No,
not
I
Vane.
really shouldn't judge them that much for like doing this. It's just I don't know. It's a weird thing to include in your Kickstarter, but it is an added layer of involvement for people. The coolest thing about this game, Evergate, is actually that they have a $1,000 tier that you can opt in for, and is a VIP experience. We'll buy you a pass to PAX East, and you can come hang out with us at the Evergate booth, and then spend dinner with us. And then it says dinner with us during a night on the town to celebrate. It's like, that's just a weird way to say that. Dinner during a night on the town. Like, I don't know.
Hey,
They should have at least said they're going to a strip club or something.
Yeah, three people did it.
Yeah,
I
yeah, they
hope
got
they
2
have
out of
fun.
5 left, dude.
Yeah, two of us could do it. Vaughn, you wanna go have a night on the town or dinner on the town? I don't remember how you said it.
Dinner with the
Dinner
devs
with
during a night on the town.
Oh yeah, night on the town. Yeah, that's what I want. Specifically about the game though, it actually looks really cool. This is the type of game that I could definitely get into. I really like puzzle games. The only thing is, a lot of the times it's hard for me to like keep my interest halfway through. But this looks really interesting the way they're doing like the basically like it looks like you're pausing time, aiming, and then like bouncing based on where you shoot, wherever your cursor is. I don't really understand exactly how this works just from this, but it looks like a really interesting but could potentially be very frustrating play style. But I definitely can see that this would have the potential to be a very like high skill cap or something that would be interesting to try to get good at.
I would like to add something or a little correction to myself. I did say that there was only 2 people working at Stone Lantern Games. There's actually 4 MIT graduates. I just wanted to correct myself. Yeah, one of them, big fan of Oblivion. Seriously? Good picks today, Josh. Good picks. Except for that Animal Crossing bullshit. That's not. Oh my god, it's got battle bots too? Fuck, these guys are awesome. Give them money.
This is such a new light of Vaughn. I've never I've never seen this before.
Throw your
Me
money
not just blatantly talking shit about their games.
I know. Yeah. This is so different. No, it definitely.
I feel like the only game I ever talked shit about was that stupid cow game. The rest of them is just me criticizing their Kickstarter pages.
Yeah, I guess that's true too. I don't know. It looks dope. I didn't even notice that they had a demo though. I'll have to actually check this out and see what it's like.
You didn't see that gigantic like corner that said play the demo and then it literally says new demo?
Nope. Scrolled right past it.
Click to play demo. They say it like 5 times.
Nope. I'm a fast scroller. What are you gonna do?
Jesus.
I'm all about just I'm an image guy. I'm just looking for all the gifs.
looking for all the pretty pictures.
All the pretty pictures. That's what I want.
All right. Well, this game certainly does look pretty. They say it's like 2D, but it seems like 2.5D, but make sure you don't actually use that because 2.5 HD is now copywritten. So watch out, guys. Bitch is going to come after you.
Copied,
Just
bro.
saying. Nintendo.
Yeah,
of course.
it was,
Of course.
Yeah, for
Octopath.
Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The 2.5 HD, they
Right.
copywrote that term,
I mean,
which a lot of people are thinking that means that they're putting out a sequel to Octopath Traveler. And I'm like, I think they just wanted to copyright the fucking word, dude. But they might also put out a sequel. You never
do
know.
you think they would call it Octopath Traveler 2 or whatever the ninth Traveler is?
Nah.
Like the
I
ninth.
don't even know what you
Yeah.
mean by that. I don't know what that means.
Like whatever, because like Octo is 8, but 9.
Oh,
like,
okay. I got you now.
yeah. I just don't know it off the top of my head.
I think it would be Octopath Traveler 2 because nobody would figure out a good name for, like, with 9. I don't know.
I don't know. People thought it was really fucking dumb that they called it Octopath Traveler.
Excuse me. They
People were
originally
like,
called it Project Octopath Traveler, okay?
Yeah, and everybody was like, they're going to change the name. And then they just dropped the project. Okay.
Well, it's better than keeping it, so I guess it's an improvement.
That's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair.
It stands out, at least.
Yeah.
So now that we've definitely just deviated from talking about indie games, I think it's a good time to get into one of our last segments of the podcast. This is the indie games release schedule. This is not a complete list because there's a buttload. Honestly, it took me a while to put this together because there's just a lot of indie games coming out. I would also like to say, So Kotaku does a list called This Week in Games.
Yeah.
And so 3 weeks ago, basically after 3 weeks ago, I don't even know how I'm trying to say this. Beforehand, it seemed to be written by one specific guy, and he fact checked everything. I'm assuming meticulously.
Yeah.
It was a very good list. And now it is written by different people every week, and it sucks. It's good and it includes a lot of stuff, but also it gets a lot of dates wrong. It's this game is coming out on PC and Mac. So I look at it on PC and it's like, nah, it's coming out in 3 days. Like it's coming out like a week after, or it doesn't even have a release date. And I'm like, okay, that's cool.
I've been
I don't know
having
where
a
you got this
problem with that
information
too,
from.
but not with indie games, with smaller Japanese games. Because
Yeah, it's just kind of annoying.
nobody's remembered that Yokai Watch 3 comes out like next week because it's a 3DS game. But on all these game release lists, I still see 3DS release dates for Kirby's Epic Yarn and Bowser's Inside Story. It's like, okay, like, I know Yokai Watch 3 is a third-party title, but don't just, like, ignore it like that. Come on, man.
I honestly didn't even know Yokai Watch 3 was coming out, but I guess that's your
point.
It
already came out in Europe.
Nobody says anything.
Last month.
Oh, shit. Dang. But it's time to get into this. These are the games from January 27th to the 2nd. Of course, by the time you listen to this, the majority of these games are going to be out, but make sure you guys check them out because there's a lot of really cool games. So we've got the multiple list first. We've got the Devil's Calculator comes to Windows, PC, and Mac Monday, January 28th. Genesis Alpha 1 comes to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One Tuesday, January 29th. Heroes Trials comes to PlayStation 4 and Vita Tuesday, January 29th. Ridiculous Rugby comes to Windows, PC, and Mac Tuesday, January 29th. Stormhill Mystery Family Shadows comes to Windows, PC, and Mac Tuesday, January 29th. Drowning, which is just, spot on title, guys. You went hard on that one. Comes to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4, Switch, and Vita Wednesday, January 30th. Subnautica Below Zero, which is what I said, the sequel to Subnautica, comes to Windows, PC, and Mac Wednesday, January 30th. Changeling comes to Windows, PC, and Mac Wednesday, January 30th. Bombfest comes to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Windows, PC, and Switch Thursday, January 31st. 8-Bit Hordes comes to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One February 1st, sorry, not January. Wargroove comes to Xbox One and Windows PC and Nintendo Switch Friday, January. February 1st. Baby B comes to Windows, PC, and Mac Friday, February 1st. Rainswept comes to Windows, PC, and Mac Friday, February 1st. Now time to move on to the PlayStation 4 list. We've got Trainer VR comes to PlayStation 4 Tuesday, January 29th. Goodbye, Ditopia. Deponia.
Okay, I don't know where you got the T from.
I don't know where they got the P from. Why? Goodbye, Deponia comes to PlayStation 4 Wednesday, January 30th. Did I say it wrong again?
No, I'm just making fun of that name.
Oh, okay.
Don't listen to him.
I was like, I don't know if I actually said it wrong. Deadland VR comes to PlayStation 4 Friday, February 1st. Now time to move on to Xbox One, just the one. Animal Super Squad comes to Xbox One Friday, February 1st. And just the one for Vita as well, which is Night Cry, comes to PlayStation Vita Thursday, January 31st. Now time to move on to Switch, which has got, it's not as much as normal, which is a little weird. I guess because a lot of them are in multiples, so it makes sense. So we've got Mages of Mysteria.
Mystralia.
Yeah, Mystralia, thank you.
A while back. It's pretty cool. Oh.
There you go then. Arrow gives it a pretty
cool.
It's been a while.
Mages of Mystralia comes to Switch Tuesday, January 29th. Unworthy comes to Switch Tuesday, January 29th. Earhart Tales of Broken Wings comes to Switch Thursday, January 31st. Bleep Bloop comes to Switch Thursday, January 31st. Downwell finally comes to Nintendo Switch Thursday, January 31st. How would you say that one? Halcyon?
6?
Yeah,
Halcyon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Halcyon 6 Starbase Commander comes to Switch Thursday, January 31st. Necrosphere Deluxe comes to Switch Thursday, January 31st. And the last on Switch is Zombie Night Terror comes to Switch Thursday, January 31st. Now just a couple more for Windows, and you guys don't have to listen to me talk for a whole nother week. It's going to be great, guys.
What if they want to hear you?
Why do you keep putting in Block Pooper? Every time there's a Block Pooper. Oh my gosh, it's a card game though, Josh. It's a card game. You'd totally love it. I know you would. Look, right there. Block Pooper.
Block Pooper 11.
It's
a card game. Oh, that sounds like for me.
They've really hit the nail on the head on that one, dude. Don't you worry. So for Windows PC, we've got Biathlon Battle VR comes to Windows VR Sunday, January 27th.
That's a weird
Adventureland.
day.
Adventureland, the Code MMO RPG, comes to Windows PC Monday, January 28th. Earth Atlantis comes to Windows PC Tuesday, January 29th. Unblock Gridlock comes to Windows PC Wednesday, January 30th. Config Wars comes to Windows PC Thursday, January 31st. Super Pixel Racers comes to Windows PC Thursday, January 31st. Caverns Lost Sky comes to Windows PC Thursday, January 31st. And the last game is Story of the Green Dragon comes to Windows PC Thursday, January 31st. There we go, guys. That's it for this week in This Week in Games. I assure you, a lot of these, if not all, have accurate dates, hopefully. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess I probably should have checked even more than I expect Kotaku to check. No big deal. It's not a big one. So normally we pick out a game that we want to talk about. Did you guys happen to pick one out? Or you just, I mean, you already talked about Wargroove. You guys just going to skate by with that one?
Yep. I mean,
Yep.
I Mages of Australia on Switch is good. It's good that it's on Switch now.
Well, there you go.
Glad.
Did you give it a pretty good, or was it an okay? Was it a pretty okay? What did you?
I said it pretty cool.
Pretty cool. All right.
I think. I don't even know.
All right. Ariel doesn't know what he gave it. Anyway,
Check it
I was
out.
kind of check it out. It's high reviews. I kind of struggled finding one out of these that I really wanted to play. There's a couple in there. Mages of Mystralia did look kind of interesting. The Downwell is a really good one coming out for the Switch, but it's a pretty old game. It's back in I think 2016 for PC, but it is definitely a toughie. But I think the one that looks kind of interesting and different is this zombie night terror game that's coming to Switch. So this game is basically like a kind of a strategy game. It reminds me a lot of like Lemmings. So it's basically
Dude, you guys talk about Lemmings a lot.
I don't
It's
remember
happened like a
ever
lot.
talking about Lemmings, but
This is the second time.
well, I mean, I guess 2 times is a lot, but still.
Yeah, it's a massive amount.
But it's basically like you're a bunch of zombies and you control the zombies and you have to make sure that they get to the humans to kill them, and it's like different things where you have to like throw the zombies in certain areas, or there's like bigger zombies that yell and like push your little zombies across like gaps and stuff like
Well,
that.
that's neat.
So, yeah, it looks really interesting. There's
Definitely inspired by Lemmings.
yeah, no, it is. It definitely is, but it looks like it could be a lot of fun, especially on the Switch, to just open it up and
Can we
play a
get
level or
Lemmings
whatnot.
on Switch too, please?
Zombie Lemmings, maybe.
No, just actual Lemmings too.
Nah, dude, you get Zombie Night Terror. That's what you get.
It's just like how Switch doesn't have Bubble Bobble, but it has Roboto instead.
Yeah, the true struggle,
It's Bubble. I think somebody needs to contact Danny O'Dwyer and tell him that this development studio stole his name. No big deal. It's NoClip.
No clip.
Little did you guys know the developer of this game is NoClip. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, thanks.
That's gonna be
We all
awkward.
know.
You're
That'll be an
welcome, dude.
awkward conversation.
I'm a philanthropist.
Good trivia.
So for mine, I wanted to talk about Unblock Gridlock. It's just a standard like block puzzle game, but it's got a little bit of story. You're basically just trying to like move around traffic so that a cop car can get through. But I just like these fun little puzzle games. Supposedly it's got like over 9,000 different puzzles.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It says flex your noodles solving over 9,000 traffic jams and save the vehicle-bound pedestrians of Traffic Town. I really
Ooh, consider my noodle flexed.
That's the thing. Yeah, dude, they really flex their noodle with fucking Traffic Town. I need to change my thing. I don't want to play this game.
Nah, man. Traffic Town is where it's at.
Apparently, yeah, it's where it's set. Exactly. That's 100%, guys.
Yeah.
Jeez. So, yeah, Errol kind of just opted out of this one. He really liked Wargroove, and he thought that Mage's game was pretty cool. So, no big deal, guys. Yeah, I don't necessarily, I keep forgetting to come up with a freaking thing, dude.
Whew.
Last week, I asked Errol if he liked that Broly movie, and he's like, is that seriously your thing? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I just forgot. I come up with them, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's too intrusive on their lives. But of course.
You could always just look up, like, questions to ask.
Like
dude.
icebreaker questions?
Oh, you know what?
Oh, Errol, what is with this?
You just freaking got me, dude.
Why?
I'm gonna go, guess what? You guys are about to get some weird-ass questions.
Oh, no. I don't like this. All right. Well, it's been great, guys.
What have I done?
What?
You just created a monster is what you did. I'm
'Cause
looking up
everybody-
first date questions, guys. 13 great first date questions backed by
Ooh.
science.
Yeah.
These are backed by fucking
Oh,
science,
man.
guys.
By the end, we'll love each other. Let's do this.
This one's boring. Are you working on any personal passion projects?
Yeah, we all
Literally
are.
right
This?
now. No big deal.
There you go.
Damn, these are dumb, dude.
Oh, man.
These are real dumb. This is a bad
Hey,
idea.
don't you argue with science.
Yeah, what scientist created this? Came up with this?
There's literally one. Anything surprising happened today? Yeah, I fucking woke up. I thought I was gonna die. Okay,
Jesus.
just leave me alone.
Oh, man. Are you normally surprised you're alive when you wake up?
Sometimes, dude, I eat a lot of salt.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's a true killer right there.
Dang, most of these are real dumb. I thought they were gonna be funny, but they're just all of them are like really, really dumb. I'm just gonna go with this one. Is there anything you don't eat? I'm gonna tell you guys right now. There's a lot of shit I don't eat. I'm really picky. I don't eat. I don't eat like onions because I feel like they feel like veins in my mouth, and I think that's disgusting. I don't eat tomatoes because they have a weird texture.
Yeah, fuck tomatoes.
I don't
You
eat
guys are
anything from
weird.
the ocean. I often say it's because I like the stuff in the ocean, but honestly, it's because the stuff in the ocean creeps me out. I think it's scary.
So that's why
I'm not gonna fuck
I don't
with
really,
it.
I don't really eat fish a lot. I don't go out of my way to eat it or anything. But
Yeah, dude,
don't mind
I'm not
it.
a fan. Just everything in the ocean looks creepy as fuck. I'm not gonna do that.
You don't like sushi?
No, I hate sushi.
Foolish.
well,
I
they do have
literally,
some sushi
I had
that's not
sushi
made with
once
fish.
and I put it in my mouth and then I spit it out in a napkin.
There's some
Foolish.
sushi not made with fish though.
You know what I do like though? Hash browns. I really like potatoes.
You know, hash browns are
stuff.
actually made out of fish.
Yeah.
I would kill you.
Back
You just ruined my life.
in the 1970s,
Just to let everybody
they were
know.
called fish browns. It's a true story.
True
Which sounds
story.
pretty gross.
Don't fact check me on that
Don't
one.
Don't at me.
So what foods do you guys not eat other than tomatoes? Because Josh is trying to just opt out as
I'm
well.
on the
I
hype
agree.
train, bro.
I agree with the onions. Most of the time, I don't eat them.
Wait, but will you eat grilled onions? Like, is it just like raw onions that you don't like, or is
Oh, I
it?
definitely won't eat raw onions. It depends on what it like onion rings. I'll eat them if they're there, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to. And then I don't like onions on my burger or like in my food for the most part.
Okay, so you won't eat them and you don't like them in your food. So clearly, you're not a fan.
Yeah, that was kind of an
Yeah.
interesting way to say that. You're like, say you don't eat onions. That's what I'm getting at.
I try not to. I don't like the taste.
I like the taste of onions. I'm not even joking. Literally, the texture bothers me so much. I'm going to tell you right now, one of the weirdest things that people find with me is that if I'm eating something and it's like, let's say I'm eating like, I'm just a week ago, or it was like 3 weeks ago, I was eating a sandwich and I bit into it and I was just eating the sandwich and everything. And then I bit into a hard spot. I almost threw up. I'm not even joking. I almost threw up. I spit it out and then I almost threw up because I tried to swallow it. And my friends were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I just spit it out in the garbage can. And I was like, ugh. I almost died, guys. Seriously, it's remarkable that I wake up every day.
I guess so.
I'm a pretty dysfunctional human being.
So his weakness is onions.
Yeah, you know.
It's better than water. Shout out to Unbreakable. Fuck you.
Very strange. I mean, I kind of agree with you in some senses, not that much because you're a freak, but like,
Thanks.
no problem. But like textures, I have like a weird thing with textures too. It's why I don't do tomatoes because like the squishiness of it, I'm like meh. And I can't eat shrimp because it feels like I'm like anytime I eat shrimp, I always feel like I'm eating like a finger or something, like eating through skin because of the like the weird shell texture to like mushiness. So I'm always like, nah, I'm okay with that. Fuck
Yeah,
shrimp.
I don't really eat shrimp either.
But it's not like a taste thing. Like I'm fine with like shrimp if it's like in something, but
It's just weird with like the tails and stuff.
I mean, I guess I don't know, but like it's just like certain textures. Like if it's too mushy of a food, I definitely won't go anywhere near it. I just can't do it.
Do you like applesauce?
Yeah, I'm okay with applesauce.
Everybody likes applesauce.
You'd be surprised, dude.
I mean,
There's probably somebody out there who thinks applesauce was created by the devil.
Hey, I know people who don't eat any fruit because of the texture.
I mean,
That's interesting.
that's silly. Fruit is delicious.
What's your favorite food then? You're just like, if I was about to die right now by some crazy disease and or Vaughn is going to bury me in his backyard again, what would your last meal be?
Get me either a California burrito or some carne asada fries. They're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know what a California burrito is. Is that just burrito from California?
No,
that
it is
something
a
special?
carne asada burrito with French fries in it.
Ah, I've actually had one of those before. I bit into a hard spot and I threw it away.
Usually,
Not
it's
even joking,
usually
that's
not
exactly
made
what
with
happened.
onions.
No, it's not an onion. It was a hard spot. Literally, if I'm chewing something that is soft and then I bite into a suspiciously hard spot, I'll throw up.
See,
I'm not
I've
even
never
joking.
had a suspiciously hard spot at any one of my burritos. So.
You don't live in Idaho, broski.
Oh yeah, I
They
would
don't know
not.
how to
I
make
would not
burritos
get it.
here.
Yeah.
Just don't eat anything when you come to Idaho. Pack your own food. What's
I
your
can't eat
favorite
the
food,
potatoes.
Josh?
I mean,
That's just what we're known for. So
They're not good. We're just known to have them.
mine would probably be. I think I would do. Fuck, food is so delicious. I don't know. There's so many good things.
Yeah. It's,
I'd probably go with. Fuck yeah, I'd probably go with burrito.
You're really thinking
I
hard on
know.
this,
I
damn.
fucking love burritos though, but I just love food. Food is so.
you
good.
guys don't even know.
What's your favorite food?
Food.
Other than shrimp and tomatoes.
Shrimp
food.
and tomatoes. You take that shit out, you got everything I like.
All right, my favorite food has to be poutine.
I
Poutine.
really
like
want
poutine.
to. I really want to try
Yeah.
that. I don't know where to get it here.
Canada.
There's a lot of like weird places to get poutine. I go to a Chinese restaurant and
That seems
I get poutine.
Way off.
That's
Okay.
really funny.
Yeah, it's a little
That's
weird.
really
It's a
funny.
little odd. Yeah, it's just cheese curds, gravy, and
French
French fries, and it's delicious. It's
I've
freaking
always
amazing.
wanted to
Oh, if you have a
try it.
Red Robin, they have poutine. Oh wait, no, they don't anymore. Cause fuck me,
You
right?
fucking
One Red
liar.
Robin, like
They did. Red Robin had poutine for a long time. They had poutine with, what was it, mushroom aioli. And then they got rid of it, and it really pissed me off. Don't try their chili fries, by the way. They're terrible.
Red Robin is like way
Just
far
thought
away
of it.
from me. The only one I even know
Yup.
of.
Well, there you go. There's like 6 in driving distance of me.
God
There's a
damn.
shitload of Red Robins.
Must be more popular over there.
I guess so. Yeah.
I don't know. It's all about those whatever kind of fries they've
That's
got.
the
I forget what they're
unlimited
called.
fries place.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call them bottomless fries, but it's kind of like a joke because they offer them to you in like a cylinder, like a cone, but with no bottom. So you're like, haha, bottomless fries, fuck you, you only get 14.
Yeah, I went to them once and I got the bottomless fries. I mean, I'm usually good because I'll stay at a place and like I'll make sure I get my value for it. But I remember the fries every time they come out, they only give you like a small amount.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
Sick.
They're like, no wonder it's bottomless, I don't get any. That's cool. Well, that's about the end of this podcast. Thanks so much for listening, guys.
What a weird way
Now
to
you know
end
our
it.
favorite foods and that dude, we ended it 2 weeks ago talking about your balls. It's not the weirdest way
did?
that I've ended this fucking podcast. Yeah, literally we were talking about your testicles because I said I wasn't going to ask about your
yeah.
genitalia.
Yeah.
And you were like, that's a weird way to end it.
Yeah. It is probably a weird way to end it. Let's just keep it a tradition. We'll talk about my balls, and good night, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. You guys can catch us every week at Fridays on Fridays, basically on any of your podcast services other than iTunes and Stitcher because I'm lazy. You can find it on places, Spotify, Google Music is one, YouTube is one as well. Not too hard to find us, just Incursion Podcast, pretty easy. Otherwise, you can check out you could follow at Parallax Media _ I think is what it is on Twitter, to check out all of our written content. You can also check out the actual website, which is parallaxmedia.one. Lots of great written content there. Arrow wrote a thing about a game series called Telefang. I had never heard of it before, but it looks really cool. Reminds me of Digimon, but it's not. You guys can follow me at Hyde Legion, Josh at _Jorsh90, and Errol at Errol M on Twitter. Super easy to find us. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the podcast, and I hope you guys tune in next week.
Bye, guys.